Hi guys, today I'm showing you most popular top 10 Android game. Please see it. Thank you.
Hey, what's up everyone, CTNtechnologynews here, and in this video I'm going to be counting down the top 10 best games you can get for your Android device right now in the second half of 2015. So coming in at 10th place on this list is a game called Bird Climb, which is kind of like Flappy Bird, but it's actually a lot more fun. This is basically a one-touch infinity runner where you move on a vertical rather than a horizontal plane. In this game you can bounce the bird off walls so long as you avoid the jagged bits, and you can even play this game with multiplayer with a friend. This game probably won't capture your attention for too long, but it does look like there was some more time spent on it than there was on the original Flappy Bird, and it is just a fun game to try out for a bit. But coming in at number 9 on this list is Chaos Rings 3, which is easily the greatest RPG saga designed specifically for smartphones and tablets. Basically, this makes some big changes in the interface and graphics departments, and it's a lot more vibrant and colourful than previous games in the series. You're basically forming a party of teenage heroes to head out into the world and hunt imaginatively designed monsters, and it's one of the deepest, most rewarding, and most expensive games on Android. This really demonstrates that the mobile platform is capable of more long-term hardcore gaming, and I'm definitely wanting to see more titles like this in the future. Now coming in at number 8 on this list is Geometry Dash with the 2.0 update, which adds a number of new features including a new user coin system for custom levels, teleportation portals, moving objects, over 50 new icons, ships, UFOs, robots, and a lot of new art both for backgrounds and objects. This update adds a ton of content and functionality to an already fun game, so I would definitely recommend picking up Geometry Dash for $2 if you haven't already. Now the 7th place spot on this list goes to a game called Desktop Dungeons, which despite its name is actually very playable on a touchscreen device. The fast nature and relatively small dungeon sizes of this game make it perfect for your Android tablet or phone, and you can spellcast and slash your way through procedurally generated dungeons. You defeat bosses to unlock new characters and items, and it actually sounds really good as well with music from the composers behind Super Meat Boy and GoldenEye 64. But with that said, 6th place on this list goes to Siegefall, which is the latest strategy game from Gameloft. In this game, you build up a fantasy army and take on millions of other players as you seek to make your kingdom supreme. You'll need to build up your defenses using traps, barricades, and towers, because other players want to take you out as much as you do them. Siegefall is yet another build and destroy game, but it is a very good one, and I would definitely recommend it more than something like Clash of Clans. Now if you want a game with a slightly more retro flair to it, you might want to consider checking out Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, which is coming in at 5th place on this list. This is the second Square Enix game that's been released recently, and it's a faithful recreation of the 2007 PSP version. Tactics switches out the Final Fantasy formula by giving you a rotating squad of characters to use, letting you terrain to your advantage, and then carrying out battles on a square-based battlefield. The good news about this port is that it's been specifically designed for touchscreen controls, so it should play fairly well regardless of which Android device you're using. Now if you're looking for a really well designed 2D platformer, I would definitely recommend a game called Nubs Adventure, and I might not be pronouncing that right, but anyways, it's coming in at 4th place on this list. In this game, you control a character who's on a quest to rebuild his house after it was destroyed by the Reds. There are 4 worlds to go through, and then the levels weave and intertwine in a satisfying Metroidvania type way. There are also some really great boss set pieces, and the puzzles will have you racking your brains while never leaving you frustrated either. But coming in at 3rd place on this list is Pokemon Shuffle, which is a free-to-play puzzle game developed by the Pokemon Company. This is the first official Pokemon game to be released on Android outside of Japan, and it's basically a match 3 game in the same vein as Candy Crush Saga. The difference is that each stage plays out as a battle with a Pokemon, and if you complete the level, you'll have a chance to catch the Pokemon you faced. Your chances of catching them will be better or worse depending on how you performed in the battle. So for instance, if you finish the stage with 3 moves left, these will be converted to points and added to your score, increasing your chances of snagging the Pokemon. It's a neat idea because it actually gives you a substantial incentive for playing smarter and being more strategic as well. Now 2nd place on this list goes to Dungeon Boss, which is a fierce little dungeon crawler in which battles take place sort of in a turn-based way. Basically, in this game, you have to fight your way through a number of lesser foes to meet the dungeon boss at the end of each stage. If you defeat the end of level beast, you'll receive a trove of gold and gems to buy various items and upgrades with. This game looks and plays really well, and the later levels of this game get pretty difficult. You will need a decent phone for this to run smoothly since this game is pretty demanding graphically, but if you do have a device that can play this, this is one of the very best additions to your library that I can think of. But anyways, that brings us to the number 1 spot on this list, which goes to Modern Combat 5 Blackout, developed by Gameloft. This features some of the best graphics to date on a mobile game, stunning gameplay, tons of action, and plenty of grenades to throw around. With Modern Combat, you get an excellent and exciting fast-paced storyline for campaign mode, where the world is on the brink of anarchy. You get an excellent multiplayer mode where you can build your own squad of killers, and then 5 different classes you can level up. The Spec Ops missions are really fun, and to make this free game even better, it has some of the best graphics, music, and voice actors for all the roles, making it a very lifelike and realistic console game for mobile devices. This is definitely a must-try, especially if you have a game controller, an Android TV, or an Nvidia Shield device. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video, so let me know your favorite Android game in the comments below. Also, remember that this list was just my opinion, so if you can think of a really great game that wasn't on this list, I might just not have heard of it before. But with that said, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.